Welcome back to Afternoon Live. If you are redesigning your kitchen, it's important to think about functionality. Here with 7 tips for the best kitchen workflow, we welcome back designer and proportional plate blogger Candice Walker. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me back.
You have some great ideas, and some are more renovation specific, but some we could tackle today with just a few adjustments at home.
Absolutely.
Super easy. So let's start there. How about storing spices?
Spices should never be stored next to a heat source.
Oh no, aren't we all doing that though? Aren't they all right next to the stove?
We have them on the stove, next to the stove.
Okay.
Give it a little bit of buffer, maybe put some cutting boards in between them and your heat source, because not all heat sources are well insulated, and they can shorten the life of the spices.
That's so true. So you don't have to throw them out as early. Save a couple of bucks if you put them in the right place.
Exactly, and they just keep getting more expensive, don't they?
Let's talk about upper cabinets and adjustments to make there. You have some cool before and afters to show us as well.
Yes, so where you can, it's best to maybe put in a shelf instead of an upper cabinet.
Okay.
Most of us don't end up using the space in these cabinets. I've been to so many houses where they're completely empty.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous usually to get stuff out of there. So if you're not a tall person, I recommend, considering removing them, and it really creates so much more space in the kitchen when you're in it or even looking into it.
Okay, and then you can do those open shelving where you can actually see where your stuff is.
You can see where it is.
Yeah.
You can easily access it. It's less dangerous.
You just have to keep it organized. That's my issue.
Yes, yes, it forces you to stay organized.
Okay, let's talk about locations for fridge and microwave. Don't corner them?
Don't corner them, and especially if you're in a home with kids or teenagers, you want the fridge and the microwave to be accessible without impeding your work in the kitchen, so that they can come in and use those two very used appliances by kids and teenagers without getting in your way.
Are there ways you can accomplish that? I mean, I'm just thinking about, I have a super tiny kitchen. I can't imagine how anything would move, but are there little tweaks you can make?
Yeah, I've seen people putting their microwaves inside cabinets sometimes. I've seen them, creating little cubbies for them even on countertops, just keeping them out of the way.
Yeah.
It's very kitchen specific, but there are ways to do it.
And we all have some unused space somewhere when you kind of think about it. Okay, let's talk about islands and peninsulas. We do not want to be putting stoves or sinks there.
Right. So most of us here in Portland have small kitchens, and what that means is you can use that island or peninsula as a buffet area or as an extra dining space, and as soon as you throw a sink or a cooktop in there, you're making it so you can't.
Okay. Just skip it.
If you can. Again, kitchen specific, but if you can.
How about material for countertops?
Yes, so there are beautiful countertops that we've all seen made of wood or other porous materials, even concrete.
Those are so trendy too.
They are, and they're beautiful. Even the ones with all the grout.
Right.
Just keep in mind that if you're choosing something like that, it's gonna require maintenance unless you're into that worn and weathered look that comes with that used kitchen, which is beautiful sometimes too.
Right.
Just know what you're getting into if you're choosing something like that.
Okay, and then related topic, seams on the countertops.
Okay, so when you get your countertops installed, sometimes they like to put seams right by the sink or other, water exposed areas. All you have to do is ask where they're planning to put them, and if you can avoid putting those seams by a sink, it just saves you a hassle in the future if it's not sealed properly.
That's a great way to think ahead. I skipped over one relating to cabinets, the finishing.
Yes.
Fully matte or fully shiny.
Matte is so trendy.
Yes.
Go eggshell or satin, which is just a little bit above matte.
Okay.
You won't notice a difference, and you won't notice fingerprints and scratches as much.
Ooh, so not super glossy, not super matte. There is a happy medium.
There is a happy medium.
Everything in moderation.
Exactly.
Great tips. Thank you so much for being here. It was great chatting.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have more information on our website at katu.com, and we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.